There is no doubt at this point that Star Citizen Alpha 3.23 is going to be a landmark update featuring some new tech and functionalities that will lay the foundations of how Star Citizen will transition from being an alpha to a beta and then a released game. Along these new features are the replication layer, the new star map, a new UI, master modes, the list just goes on and on. And in addition to those new features that have been teased, discussed, or already tested by the Evocati test flight, features of a lesser importance than the juggernauts mentioned earlier, but features that do deserve a spotlight of their own, have been also introduced or talked about. And so that is going to be the topic of today's video. Hi and welcome to the channel, I'm Irad, and so before we move on, as always, I'm going to ask you guys for a favor. If you enjoy the content or if you are new to the channel, please do consider hitting that subscribe button down there, as it hugely helps the channel with the YouTube algorithm. And if you liked today's video, please also let everyone know with that thumbs up down below. Really appreciate the gesture, and now let's get back to the topic of the day. So, I'm going to be frank here. So far, there hasn't been a single Evocati patch that hasn't revealed any kind of unannounced feature, and I was really dumbfounded when some of them were revealed by the testers themselves across several social media platforms. And I'd like to start with what I think is arguably the biggest of these new features, and I say arguably because the next one is pretty close in terms of hype. And here I want to talk about the water rippling effects, which have been revealed during last year's CitizenCon. Basically, what this does is adding realistic physical effects to water. For example, when a ship flies above water, it's going to create a big wake behind it, or when you shoot at the surface, you will see the impact of the ripples will be realistically simulated. The same will go for debris or rubble when they fall into the water. This tech is itself not a game changer, but it will add a huge amount of realism to any interaction we'll have with water in Star Citizen. Right now, the tech is still in a rough state, and testers have reported big drops of frames per second, but no doubt that this is going to improve as Clan Imperial game further iterates on it. Next, we will talk about creatures. Now, there are already quite a few of them that CIG have revealed to us, and these include the peaceful space cows and the space whales, but judging by the teasers we've had from Clan Imperial Games, it appears that a much more aggressive being is about to make its way into the persistent universe in the form of what I guess would be a space puma. I mean, this appears to be dwelling in caves. I guess that we'll have to wait for further Evocati tests for further details. Reports from several Evocadis, as well as some developers on X, indicate that the space cow may be in as well, but this still needs to be confirmed as no visuals have leaked so far. The next new feature is actually going to be an upgrade to the volumetric cloud tech, as a new level of detail is reportedly going to be added above the very high setting. This new setting is called Reference and is said to take the cloud visual fidelity to the next level. Unfortunately, Evocati test flight members have reported some severe performance drops in terms of frames per second when the setting is activated, indicating that much work is still needed for the feature and that it could be pushed back to a further patch later this year. Our next feature is something that caused a little bit of controversy after it was first mentioned in the recent episode of Star Citizen Live, and here we are talking about Scope Glit. What this is, to explain it briefly, is an amplified reaction of light on the scope of someone who's using it. This is actually a feature that can be found in other FPS games and is going to be particularly important in Star Citizen due to the upcoming mechanics such as Death of the Spaceman, which are going to make the price of death far more punishing than it currently is. Right now, snipers in Star Citizen have it easy. They can just hide in the terrain, shoot from long distances, and never be seen if they camouflage effectively. Right now, this isn't much of a problem, as players can respawn an infinite amount of times without having to deal with any of the serious consequences that they are going to face in the future, apart from a loss of equipment, but that is not going to last forever, unfortunately. Scope Glit will therefore give players a chance to locate a potential sniper and take any action they deem necessary to protect themselves and eliminate the threat. But what about you? What do you think? Do you believe that the game needs such a feature? Let me know what your thoughts are in the comment section down below. And finally, we will conclude this video with another upcoming feature that Cloud Imperium Games have teased on multiple occasions, starting from last year's CitizenCon. And here it seems that we are going to get what looks to be another gravlev vehicle, which might be called the Mirai Pulse, according to some leaked data that have been mined in the FASO 3.23 Evocati. Now, this is not really a surprise because Mirai is the new sub-brand from MISC, and so they need new vehicles to fill in that brand that doesn't have a lot of vehicles in its lineup. So again, that's something that was to be expected. Also, there seemed to have been quite a push from Cloud Imperium Games when it comes to gravlev races, especially in Arena Commander, and also they are trying to make this a sub-genre in the racing scene, so that's why I'm not surprised to see another gravlev vehicle. Plus, you know, we do need some ground vehicles because in the future, sometimes flying is going to be a little bit more dangerous. Turrets are reportedly going to gain more importance as well, or there may be some occasions in which just flying your ship is going to be out of the equation and a ground vehicle is going to be the better option. So that's why they are bringing those ground vehicles and those gravlevs in particular, because well, when you have some rough terrains and no roads, it's just a better vehicle. So there we have it, guys. These are some hidden or secret features of Star Citizen Alpha 3.23 that CIG did not really communicate out. They're not on the roadmap, but they are coming. Nevertheless, is there something else that caught your attention for 3.23 that CIG did not communicate? Well, let me know in the comment section below as well. Or what is your favorite, perhaps? I would also like to know. This video is brought to you by the Patreon and YouTube members who make all of this content possible. If you too want to support the channel, the links are in the description down below. You can also be in for a giveaway. We're giving away a Vanguard Warden with LTI. All you have to do is just enter your name on Discord. You can also join for free or video sharing contest. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much to Dr. Frobin, Zero Crusher, Deplorable Fidel, and Ducky to Ducker. I've been Irad, and I'll see you guys in the next one.